what is the feeling? Oh, gosh, I'm incredibly, again, just humbled, I think, to be able to kind of come back to, Taiwan, where, my family's from, and to have a store here in this incredible mall next to incredible other brands, to see, our store in such a great kind of area, and to kind of have a place where the fans and everyone can kind of come and enjoy the brand, and hear local feedback of what's doing well, and how people kind of are enjoying, seeing the store. It's kind of the constant, it's the icon of the brand, I find it very powerful in the sense that, it's versatile, you can wear it in kind of almost every kind of occasion. I think in most fabrics and most kind of garments, it kind of really translates. And there's just kind of a strength behind it that I really, really enjoy. When I do use color, it's very purposeful. There's always a narrative around the color palette that I do use. So for example, currently what's in store you see is there's a lot of red, white, and blue. This collection was really inspired by Immigrant Americana, which was kind of a very personal reset for me and the brand in a way when we started showing off calendar, and it was about going back to my family's roots and kind of marrying them into what I grew up with, being born in America, which was Americana. And so of course, again, the color palette stems from that. So when I do use color, it's very, again, thoughtful and purposeful, and there's a kind of a narrative behind it. We started, again, it didn't happen overnight. It was something that we had talked about for many, many months, and almost about 2 years, internally. And we constantly are challenging ourselves on how we can be more efficient and kind of service our consumers better and be closer to the consumer. And so being a part of a seasonal fashion show or having a seasonal fashion collection, I felt was very confusing to the consumer. When you're talking about spring, summer, fall, winter, what's happening globally, I think it sends people into kind of a confusing state. So we decided to pull out of New York Fashion Week and really focus on 2 collections that we titled Collection 1 and Collection 2 for the year. So it was a very strategic move, and we're really excited to kind of test it out and see how people respond to it. I think New York Fashion Week has always been a great kind of landscape for a lot of brands of all different backgrounds and scales and narratives to be able to come together. You don't really get that kind of energy in any other fashion week. It's very international. I think in a certain sense right now there's a lot of questioning on the relevance of New York Fashion Week, with a lot of the bigger brands pulling out, they're not being, a Donna Karan, not being a Calvin Klein anymore. What is the next kind of wave of American fashion? And I think in that sense, it's an interesting time. It puts people kind of questioning things, which I always think is healthy, because I think when a lot of things just kind of roll on without kind of constant thought and provoking, things can become unrelevant. So I like the idea that people are questioning what's going on in New York, because it just pushes people to have to think differently, to have to push the boundaries a bit, and to do things in a more innovative way. We don't only see ourselves as designer luxury. I love to be able to kind of tap into other audiences. One of course, idol of mine was always Karl Lagerfeld, and rest in peace. And he was someone that I felt like always could speak to a very wide audience. Whether he was doing Chanel couture or he was doing something much lower price point, or doing food or doing technology. I think Karl Lagerfeld, the brand, was something that a lot of audiences could relate to, and I think that's something that's always inspired me. I would say that friends, it's always good to have a really strong circle of friends around you that can kind of keep you down to earth, keep you energized when you need to kind of be uplifted. Other things I do, I get massages. I'm obsessed with getting a really deep tissue massage, because that kind of course, has its immediate results. But friends and family and massages. What is my favorite? Oh gosh, it's so hard to choose, but Not stinky tofu, but I love stinky tofu. It's one of my favorites. I would say Taiwanese sausage, yo fan, and a lot of carbs. So pai gu fan, yo fan, noodles, yeah, carbs. I love just walking around New York. You know, New York, again, is that kind of place that constantly keeps you on your toes, constantly kind of have to keep your eyes open because you don't know who you're going to run into, what you're going to see on the street. And so, yeah, get a good pair of walking shoes, sneakers, and yeah, start walking.